folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2020 Keystone Sprinter 3561FWRLB. This is a very unique layout, and there is a lot to love here. A few things I would change, a couple things that I definitely think they nailed. The unique thing about this, and we'll see it in a little bit, in fact, Sam, you want to pan over there real quick, is the fact they have a bar setup. This is something, again, I haven't really seen, especially in this layout. Sprinter is doing more and more unique floor plans, and I think this is pretty cool. In theory, they did a great job. Again, in execution, there are a few things that I would change. So let's go ahead and hit that. So what you'll notice is this is basically, at its heart, a rear living floor plan. And you have the dual opposing slides. You have the big kitchen island here, which I like. And of course, with this, you also get the sofa here along the back. The kitchen itself, so we'll start right over here. So you'll see that they have solid surface throughout the kitchen. Beautiful. I love the solid surface countertops. It makes it, give it that higher end feel and look, which especially in a floor plan like this, I think you need. I also like the backsplash. Now, obviously it's not real tile, but I think, it does a good enough job. It kind of has the herringbone subway tile look there, kind of gray subway tile. I like that over just the standard. We've seen standard subway tile for years now. I think the herringbone's just a nice little kind of spin off there. So I do like what they've done here. You also have the electrical outlet over to the side. Perfect spot for a coffee maker, little window, some storage up top, of course our microwave and hood. I would have liked to have seen a light here just to kind of help brighten up this space a little bit. There is a light on the hood, which does a little bit. It's good enough for cooking. I like a lot of light in my RVs. The cooktop itself is a recessed cooktop. It's a Greystone brand. My opinion is that the Greystone is kind of like a knockoff Furrion. I never thought I would say this when it comes to a lot of Furrion products because, they're kind of like the Lippert in the RV industry, right, where everyone's using them now. But I actually like the Furrion a little bit more. Not that there's anything wrong with the Greystone. The Furrion just seems to close and open a little bit better for me. Just feels slightly higher quality. I don't know the price point difference. The Greystone may even be more expensive, but that's just my personal take. You will see the 3 burners there. The front one is high output. The knobs light up. You can see that there. Oven underneath as well. And then you have drawers all the way around. So, plenty of drawers. You'll see that is full extension, plenty of space for your flatware, everything else you need. You have another one right there underneath. As you can see, it's doggy friendly, so that way, you can fill up with food and water. Again, kind of a cool little addition there. Hopefully it doesn't slop around too much while you're traveling. But again, for this section, I think they did very well. You'll also see here that you have the Hare residential refrigerator. There is an inverter dedicated to this. So that way, as you're traveling, everything will stay nice and cold. This, of course, does run off only electric. You know what, let me remove the travel lock here. Bear with me, there we go. So we'll remove the travel lock so we can open it up. Just give you an idea of the space you're working with inside. You have a nice big crisper drawer there, shelves in the door, and then you have 2 freezer sections down below. Personally, and again, this is just me, when it comes to RV refrigerators, I'd rather have more fridge space, maybe one of these drawers and, extended the fridge space down, just because I don't bring a ton of frozen stuff with me camping. But again, I may be unique in that. Either way, it is a nice residential fridge. If we take a look in the center, this of course is our center island. You'll see that they kind of offset the sink top here, so that way you have a lot of prep space over to the side rather than splitting it up on both sides. I think that's a pretty cool move, actually. I do like that they did that. You will see the high-rise faucet, 2-tone faucet on there, kind of the industrial look. The sink top cover is a drying rack. Now, for these, I'm a little torn, right? If it's a top mount sink, I don't mind it. I think it works great. But with an undermount, my only hiccup is that you have such a thin lip. And if it's not mounted perfectly on there, or you don't put this in there perfectly, there's a higher chance that it'll fall down. If you have glasses and stuff breaking there, it's never good. So I personally wish that they would have just went with the solid surface sink top covers. But, again, that's kind of a small nitpicky thing. Taking a look underneath, open this up. Little bit of storage there. I see this in here. Now, this is the first one of these we've gotten in. To be honest, I'm not sure if this was one of the workers that were working on it that left it in here, or if this is somehow supposed to be installed. I'm not sure where you would put that if it's supposed to be in here. So I'm thinking it was just an extra bonus we got from the factory. Over to the side, you will see 2 drawers. I'm kind of torn on this as well, right? I know you need a spot for pots and pans because you don't really have it on the other side of the kitchen, so maybe that's what you put here. I guess I'm not sure. Let me know what you would think. I personally, I don't know what they mounted underneath besides the propane detector. I mean, obviously, this is taken up, that's taken up over there. I wish it kind of would have been the full thing so we could have had some doors that opened up, had some shelves. But again, maybe that's just me being nitpicky. You will see the electrical outlet on the side. They also kind of, put something on the front so it's not plain, which is good. Again, electrical outlets, you also have, I don't know if you can see it, but you have a little bit of auxiliary lighting right down there you can turn on and off. Moving down a little bit further, we get into the entertainment center, and this is exactly what you'd expect, exactly what you'd want in a rear living. Your TV is right across from the theater seating, great view, storage up top, sound bar down below for good sound quality. You have the fireplace there as well, which, as I always tell people, it's not just for aesthetics. Yes, it looks nice, but more importantly, that's a space heater, so it'll help kind of take the chill off in this rear space. When we take a look at the back wall, and again, I'm kind of torn on this one. I personally like it when they have a 3-seater couch and smaller end tables. They went with the bigger end tables mainly because of this right here. They needed a place to put your fuse panel. That's what they went with, and that's fine. It's good enough. It just it doesn't make as large of a bed, right? We fold this out. It is a tri-fold, which is great. When you fold it out, one person can very comfortably sleep on there, but 2 people, you'll definitely be a little snuggled up. But underneath this one, they give you some extra storage, so that's great. Windows all the way around, including on the side of this, the sides there, so that way, you can get some cross ventilation. Big rear picture window. You have electrical outlets, USB port. Your max air fan control, it's worth mentioning. I guess I should probably point out some of the stuff on the ceiling. So right up top, max air fan, that does have a rain sensor on it. The control is there. You have the big skylight above the bar. Of course, your AC up there as well, and some light fixtures. Storage across the top there. And as I mentioned, over in the slide is your theater seating right across from the TV. Both of these recline. I'm sure you've seen theater seating before. Cup holders, a little bit of storage in this one. It is Thomas Paine collection. Pretty comfortable stuff. Windows all the way around here too. So this is something we're seeing more and more in the newer models, is rather than having storage above what would be like your sofa, your theater seating, in lieu of that, they've gone with larger windows. It kind of makes it look more open, brings in more light. I guess let me know what your thoughts are. I personally like it, but I was talking to my father-in-law, and he said he would rather have the storage. So I guess let me know what you guys think. Lights on top of the slide here. Again, light fixture. Table underneath. So this is one of those things where I love the idea, right? The natural wood table. I've seen them in residential. I've seen it done very successfully in remodels for trailers. So the idea is definitely there. However, the execution for me just doesn't quite cut it. This edge is just far too fake looking for me. Again, I like the idea of the natural wood table. I just wish they either would have used the real one or have done something with this edge just to make it look more like wood and less like plastic. But you'll see over to the side here, you have the 4 freestanding table and chairs, storage underneath. Let me know what you guys think on the table too. Again, maybe that's just my take. Maybe I'm being too picky. If you guys get a chance to kind of see it on the video, or if you've seen it in person, if you've seen it at a show, I know we've had it at a couple different shows. Let me know what you guys think. Now getting into the main section of the camper, the kind of the unique part, this I love, right? And maybe it's because I like to drink when I camp, that's my problem. But I think this is awesome, right? You have a spot to stand. I'm a stander. I like to stand and eat. I like to stand and talk. You can ask my wife. She hates it when I stand and eat when we're having dinner, but it's just kind of what I do. So for me, this is great. It's a perfect bar height, just like you'd want. You have a couple of chairs here, awesome for entertaining. You have your little wet bar area, electrical outlet, so if you need to plug in like a blender, a Margaritaville blender, stuff like that, making margaritas, wonderful. Storage all across the top, kind of like a hutch look to it. Gives you a spot for your barware, so I like that as well. Underneath, you can take a look here. A little bit of plumbing access, tiny bit of storage, and then you have the drink fridge. Whoops, opens this way. There we go. You have the drink fridge there, so that gives you a spot for, all of your beer, soda, whatever else you need. So I like this space. Again, I think this is really cool. This is something I would enjoy. Directly behind me, I like the door too, kind of that, you know, farm style door rather than just plain. They're, you know, kind of upping the aesthetic piece. When we take a look inside here, let's see if we can turn a light on. There we go. So it is lit, the storage area. You know, I know that I've talked to some people about this floor plan, and they said they would have liked a bigger pantry, more storage. Again, I think it's pretty decent. You know, you have the storage here, you got this down underneath. I mean, if you're talking true pantry, you know, just storage goods, while it's certainly probably not as big as your pantry at home, this is still pretty good in comparison to what you have in most RVs. I mean, you got this over here. Realistically, I think it's pretty good. So, you know, there's electrical outlet in there as well. So if you want to put like a toaster or something in there, kind of, you know, whoops, I've seen that where you have like an appliance pantry. That will allow you to do that. You'll also see your remote control, so you can easily operate the lights, slides, awnings, things like that from right outside. You can just take the remote out with you. Secondary TV above the bar, right? No bar is complete without another TV. So that way, you know, I can watch the game while, you know, my wife and her friends are watching something else. Again, I like the setup, but that's me. You will see the railing. I think this is a cool design too. You know, kind of almost a wrought iron, kind of like a hammered wrought iron look. Pretty nice. Again, I think it adds a nice aesthetic piece, and it does, you know, it is nice and sturdy, so it's actually usable, which I like as well. That, of course, allows you to climb right up here. Big window, lots of natural light. Main control panel, thermostat here. Bathroom into the side. So come on in. One thing I wish they would have done is I wish that Sprinter had slider doors. You know, maybe they couldn't in this floor plan just because of the size of things, but you know, with the doors swinging out, of course, you have to play the dance of depending on which direction you're coming or going. The toilet itself, I'm 6 foot tall, porcelain bowl, plenty of leg room here. I like the porcelain, of course, makes it easy to clean. Nice big linen closet, I can show you that there. Plenty of room for everything you'll need. The shower, let me stand in here. So a couple different things. One, I'm 6 foot tall, plenty of space, folks. You can be 6'4" and still be able to stand in here underneath that skylight. It's also a one-piece shower, so it's very similar to what you'd have at home. Less chance for any kind of leaks, which is a big deal for me. You'll also see the shower door, you know, slide that open and close nice and easy. Of course, hand wand, mirrored medicine cabinet right down underneath. They have a thermofoil countertop, so it is upgraded over like a T-mold. Stainless steel bowl, nicer bowl, electrical outlet, which obviously you gotta have. And rather than just plumbing access, you do have a little bit of storage underneath there too, which is great. And then we step up into the master bedroom. What you'll notice right away is the fact this one does have a slide-out king-size bed. That is a 70 by 80 king size. So technically it's 2 inches narrower than residential, but it's still, you know, the same length and again, almost as wide. You have the headboard with the reading lights. You know, those reading lights are okay because they're directional. I prefer the puck lights just because they're a little bit brighter, but they do definitely work. You can also make them blue if you want some auxiliary lighting, I suppose. Windows on both sides. The windows do open, which for me is a big deal, again, for cross ventilation reasons. If I just don't want to use the AC, I want some airflow, I like having that when I'm sleeping. On the sides, the shelves here, the shelves kind of lost me. You know, with this, I don't know what in the world I'm going to set there. That's pretty narrow. And, you know, it's not very big out here. I would have preferred if they just eliminated that and made this a little bit bigger. But I guess, you know, let me know your thoughts. Do you even want shelves? Would you just go without completely or just kind of have them come out? I guess let me know what you think. Underneath the king bed, you will see storage. So again, plenty of storage there. You will also see this guy. So this panel you can pop right off. You'll see the 4 handles, so you can remove that if you want to kind of access it without lifting up the bed. And then over to this side here, they went with kind of like a barn door style wardrobe. Again, just trying to kind of up that aesthetics, kind of, you know, make it look a little nicer. You have the storage rack up top as well as the hanging rod right down below. And then over to the side here, we'll open this up. This, of course, as you would expect, is your washer dryer prep. So, you know, if you don't use washer dryer prep, it's a little ugly. Or if you don't have washer and dryer, just because it's kind of hanging out there. But I would rather have the prep than not at all, right? Because if you plan on spending some time here, you may want washer dryer. Gives you the ability to do it. Storage up top, window right down below, and then your dresser. You have plenty of drawers there. So between the wardrobe and the drawers, I think you have plenty of storage space in the bedroom for your clothes. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the 2020 Keystone Sprinter 3561 FWRLB. Of course, you have the front cap on there, beautiful and painted as she is. You'll see that you have a mirror here too, so that way as you are backing up, it will help you align your hitch with the Kingpin. Speaking of the Kingpin, this one is the Road Armor Kingpin with the pivoting head, which will help some of that bucking and chucking as you're starting and stopping so you don't get that jerky movement. If we take a look underneath, one of the things that Keystone does very well in the front compartments is cable management. You'll see everything is, tied up nice and neatly. You don't have stuff just everywhere. It's very clean. You have your battery right over there to the side, couple battery disconnects. This one right here is for the inverter for your fridge, and then your main disconnect, I'm actually gonna shut that one off, is this one right here. I'm shutting it off because it's cold out and I don't want the battery to die and we're not using it inside. If you take a look underneath, this is where your spare tire is located. Not terrible to get to, you have of course a couple bolts right up here to unscrew, drop that down, easy enough. You'll also see the ground control 3.0 auto level on this unit. Auto level is fantastic. Touch a button after a little bit, it will level itself out for you. Of course, you have a light, and last thing right up front there is solar prep. So if you want solar, simply buy the portable panels, plug it in, it'll trickle charge your battery. Large power awning, touch a button to roll it out. Of course, same thing to go right back in with the LED light strip, and it does have the Solaris speakers in the head of the awning. So when the awning is out, the music plays down in your campsite rather than blasting out at your neighbors. You'll also see your garage storage compartment here, covered hinge, a bunch of rust coming down your door, magnetic catch, and its slam latch. And it's nice heavy door. You'll see its metal components, not the plastic, works very, very well. Again, magnetic catch there. If you take a look inside, you will see plenty of space. I also like the fact that the plumbing is maintained up top. You don't have any plumbing that's running vertically up and down, cutting off your storage compartment. You have big open storage all the way through. Right out here to the side is your key TV system as well as your electrical outlet. So I'll show you where the multi-source controller is in the back, basically where you plug it into. Feeds right out here. If you plug in a cable, take a cable line from here, plug it in your TV, boom, you're good to go. You have cables. Super, super simple. This right here, of course, is the mount for the TV. Spray port right underneath, so that way if you need easy water access, if you need to wash the dog, wash your feet off after the beach, you can use that right there. Getting into the Sprinter is super easy. You have the MORryde step above step system. It is the larger steps with the 4 steps instead of 3. Aluminum treads on here with the grip tape. Of course, the aluminum won't rust. Very sturdy steps. You don't get that springboard effect. And as every manufacturer should when they equip these steps, you have the larger foldable grab handle, making it easier to enter and exit the RV. Right underneath, you have a little tie here for your pet. So if you have a dog, you can tie like your leash right there. That may function as a bottle opener. Probably not, but I'd give it a shot. But either way, again, it just gives you a spot to tie up your pets. Right down underneath, you will see the aluminum alloy wheels. They looking great for years to come. Again, right behind that, part of that auto level system. Now, when we talk about having outside amenities, outside fridge for me is what I want. When I talk about an outside kitchen, this is what I really want. So I like when they're able to install that. Again, for beverages, these are nice and tall, which I like too, because if I want an outside bar, not just inside, I have a place where I can put a lot of my liquor. So I enjoy that. Electrical outlet over to the side. There's also a light switch so you can have a light in there. Coming around to the back, man, I keep talking about all these bars, makes me sound like an alcoholic. I promise I'm not, but I do like to drink when I camp. You have a rear mounted ladder. This allows you to climb up onto the roof very quickly and easily. Square tubular bumper with the end caps, a great spot to store your sewer hose. You'll see the backup camera prep. This is a pretty big fifth wheel, folks. If you want that backup camera, it might not be a bad idea. Having that prep makes it a lot easier. This right here is your multi-source controller. Basically, this is where you take either your satellite and plug it in or take your cable and plug it in. It feeds it to all the other TVs in the RV, which is awesome. Of course, 50 amp power supply is located right next to that. As we come around to this side here, I'm going to show you the termination. So this one baffles me a little. I'll have to talk to the rep and kind of figure this out. But even though you have big piping here, it looks like they have labeled this as a gray tank. So this is probably to your bar, I would imagine. But the reason I'm a little baffled is because your valve is outside here. It does not appear to be insulated like the valves up front. So I'm not exactly sure why, but I will have to find out. So that is, again, I'm gonna guess, don't quote me here, I'd have to try it out, but I'm gonna guess that goes to your wet bar. And then right up front here is your other gray and black tank. Again, you can see that the underbelly is all enclosed, insulated, heated, and as you would expect with an insulated underbelly, right here are your insulated valves, right? So they have insulated those two. So just know that your main ones are, but like I said, it appears that the secondary gray tank is not. Docking station located right out here. This, of course, is where you plug in all of your water connections. You'll have the other side of your garage compartment. So much smaller door on this side, but still very, very usable. Your propane, you have to have propane. You'll see your two 30-pound tanks there, of course, switch over right in the center as you would expect. And lastly, right here is your auto level. You just pop that open. There's a button in there to auto level it out. And of course, you can manually adjust it as well if needed. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is a 2020 Keystone Sprinter 3561 FWRLB. If you're interested in this fifth wheel and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Also, in the comments section, let me know what you think they nailed, what you think they missed, what maybe you think they should change. Do you like the table in there? Do you like the bar? Do you like the setup? Let me know and we'll have a good old talk about it. Thanks again for watching, folks. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.